Ross Coulthart drops a bombshell on News Nation and a whole bunch more. It's time for another UFO news roundup, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Road. I talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like, please subscribe, share on social media, and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Okay, I'm going to attempt to play this clip from News Nation if they don't give me a copyright claim, which they have done in the past. So, fingers crossed.
And now, a News Nation exclusive. 3 sources tell me there was an earlier, publicly undisclosed incident over the Arctic Circle on the 1st of February, 3 days before the Chinese balloon shoot-down. These defence and intelligence sources revealing to News Nation 8 or 9 UAPs were detected over the Arctic Circle and that fighter jets were sent up in what was an unsuccessful attempt to intercept them. Former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defence Christopher Mellon has independently confirmed the same story.
Fighter jets were deployed from NORAD to engage with those objects, and that they were seen to manoeuvre away, apparently at high speed. Have you heard those allegations? I've heard it now from 3 different people.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing, and from an individual who would have plausible reason to know. But this really speaks to a much larger issue, which is the lack of information from the Air Force about UAP generally.
In response to questions from News Nation, the Pentagon referred us to NORAD, who deny the allegations that fighter jets were scrambled to intercept UAPs. NORAD does say it had aircraft flying in the area, returning to home bases as part of a training operation. News Nation is also being told by sources that the object the US shot down over Alaska on February the 10th was also anomalous.
So there you go. Balloon Gate heats up. Anomalous craft over Alaska. So were all of the objects anomalous? Were they all genuine UFOs or whatever? We don't know, but this is fascinating new information from Ross Coulthart. Not only were there the 3 additional incidents that we know of, other than the balloon that was shot down, that we know was a balloon. There is some debate about whether it was a Chinese spy balloon or not, but it was a balloon. But we don't know what those other 3 objects were. But apparently it was more than 3 objects. It was going on even before the first balloon, or the balloon, was brought down. So this is bombshell information from Ross Coulthart, evidently corroborated by other sources. So amazing stuff. It throws new light on the White House getting involved in creating their own interoffice UFO agency that seems to have played a big part in the Schumer-Rounds amendment. So yeah, so the White House stepped in at that point and got engaged in the UFO issue for some reason. And now we're beginning to get a glimpse of what that reason may have been. They were sending fighter jets to intercept objects even before the balloon was brought down. What does this mean? We don't know. Hopefully time will tell. Hopefully more information will come out. It looks like information is already starting to come out. Is this the big bombshell that was promised us in November? Or is this the beginning of a series of bombshells? I sure hope so. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. In other news, Timothy Alberino gives us an update. He says that he and Doug are on their way back with the assistance of the Peruvian Navy. And Peru Attack says, don't get it wrong, the Peruvian government takes these attacks very seriously. I sure hope they do. I mean, people are in dire straits down there. They are freaking out down there. And, you know, a lot of that is deserved. If there are indeed people being lynched down there on suspicion of being connected to this, obviously that's not deserved. But again, we don't know if that actually happened or not. So, but yeah, either way, there's some serious stuff going on down there, whether it's alien attacks or the control group or whatever is going on down there. These people are suffering and they need relief. Meanwhile, there's a great article on the debrief. Why is the United Kingdom so far behind on UAP policy? And it's a great article. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I will read this one part. That a friend of mine received a reply from Air Command Secretariat at the MOD that contained the following rather extraordinary paragraph. I must inform you that the MOD, the Ministry of Defense, has no opinion on the existence of either extraterrestrials, UFOs, or unidentified aerial phenomenon. While I recognize you have used the term unidentified anomalous phenomenon, the department does not recognize this term, and I have therefore answered your questions using our definition of UAP. The response goes on to repeat the 2009 Sir Bob Ainsworth line about there being no military threat. This feels like a tired reply that is past its sell-by date. I am sure that there are civil servants in the areas in question who are coming to this view too. It is interesting that he does say that it's not a military threat. For those of you who are concerned that the powers that be are orchestrating all of this UFO disclosure to create a threat narrative, the people involved are actually not saying that. Now, some of them have said there is a potential threat, and a lot of that is because they need to get these programs funded. And in America, particularly, that's the Department of Defense that's doing that, and they need a threat or a potential threat to defend against. But yeah, they are saying that the Ministry of Defense has no opinion on the existence of ETs or UFOs, despite everything that's going on. And, the UK certainly seems to have played their part in it, Rendlesham Forest, etc. Even though that was an American base, it happened in the UK. But the UK, of course, has a long history of the phenomenon, as does pretty much everywhere else. But they are mum. They are mum on the whole UFO issue, which is even more suspicious than if they would just say something. Meanwhile, there's another theory about Salvatore Pais. I may be mispronouncing that name, but many of you will be familiar with him. He is the man that associated with the military that filed a bunch of patents on UFO technology or UFO-like technology. Very, very high technology in a range of different subjects, creating UFO-like vehicles, or at least that is the design. He was able to get patents on this stuff, so this technology is operable. Who is this guy? He's actually been on Theories of Everything with Kurt Jemongel, a really great interview. I recommend you checking it out. But did he answer all the questions? No, I don't think he did. And how did he arrive at this technology with this amazing series of patents that he arrived at? Well, one theory is that Salvatore Pais is a plant. The MIC and Navy used him to file patent-blocking patents. That is, he files reverse-engineered UAP tech as his own creation. Thus, no one else can use the tech for the benefit of humankind. So, I don't know if that's true or not, but it's an interesting theory. I think Salvatore is a fascinating figure in all of this, and I can't wait to see what becomes of those patents, if anything. But I thought this was a really particularly interesting theory, and I thought I'd bring it to your attention. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. Meanwhile, somebody has released a really interesting video. It's a CGI or AI created recreation of the aerial school UFO touchdown, the UFO that many of the children saw, and it went beyond that. And I learned something new from this video that I didn't know before, and that's that the principal of the school, a few days after that incident at the aerial school, was abducted by the beings. And I had no clue about this. Did you know this, guys, that the principal, the headmistress who lived on the school grounds, was actually taken by the UFOs? Was she a lifelong abductee, as many are, as most are? Or was this her first encounter? And, you know, if she is a lifelong abductee, could the UFO that touched down there and the beings that came out there come because of her and not necessarily the children? I don't have an answer to that, but I think it's an interesting question. But yeah, I will link to this full video, and you can watch it at your leisure. But here she is getting taken into the UFO, and I will have to research her case and see if there's any more about her abduction experience or possibly multiple abduction experiences. And if you already know that, please clue me in the comments below, because I would love more information about this case. Last but not least, here's a giant crocodile. Nothing UFO related, just a giant badass crocodile. Love it. Now that is a dinosaur. That is awesome. That is badass. Okay, guys, let me know what you think about all this in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. I sure appreciate it. Smash the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Join me on social media. There's Facebook and Twitter links below. I would love to see you guys there. If you wanted to support Cosmic Road in a bigger way, please consider grabbing a coffee mug or a t-shirt. See the merch store below, or becoming a channel member. Channel members are rock stars, and I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you. Meanwhile, there are plenty of other videos to check out on the channel, and I will see you next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road, signing out.